The campaign phase for the Japan general elections begins from today.
Over 1,000 candidates have kicked off their campaign for the snap polls on October 27th, and they will get 12 days to present their case to the public.
A total of 465 parliamentary seats are up for grabs in the general election, out of which 289 seats will be from single-seat districts, while 176 will be elected through a system of proportional representation. A minimum of 233 seats are required for the majority in the lower house. The ruling coalition government had 288 seats at the time when Prime Minister Ishiba dissolved the parliament and called for early polls.
Before the dissolution of the 465-member lower house, the ruling LDP decided to endorse a total of 279 official candidates.
Now, 265 in single-seat districts and 14 of the proportional representations section. Now, Japan's leading opposition parties, Constitutional Democratic Party and Japanese Communist Party, are planning to field 200 and 210 candidates respectively. The two parties, who formed an electoral alliance in the previous lower house election, will likely lock horns with each other in some 140 constituencies in this upcoming polls.
All right, for more on this, our correspondent Chris Gilbert joins us from Tokyo. Chris, thanks so much for joining us. As the election campaign starts in Japan, give us a sense of, what's the mood on ground. Of course, the next 12 days are going to be rather eventful. Give us a better understanding of what's happening there.
Yeah, so the mood is rather split between politicians and the public. If you ask the politicians what the mood is, well, the ruling party says that they're looking to do their best, although they understand there are some tough challenges ahead because, they are struggling to move on from a number of funding scandals that have dogged the ruling party over the last year, although the ruling LDP is certainly no stranger to corruption and scandals. The opposition CDP, the Constitutional Democrats, are going to be looking to make the most of this. However, the argument against them is that, the LDP have really been in power continuously since 1955, apart from 3 years and at the end of the 2000s. And so there are questions about whether the CDP, the opposition, can form a legitimate alternative functional government. And so that is the conversation that's being had at the political level. At the public level is a little bit different. While 65% of recent respondents to a recent Kyoto News poll said they would consider the fundraising scandal, the funding scandal by the LDP when they vote on October 27th, a greater number of people actually said they're far more concerned about the state of the economy. And while, on paper things may look good, the stock exchange has hit record highs this year, the yen has made some moves towards strengthening, that hasn't really translated into the everyday experience of everyday people who have noticed their prices go up again in August and September of about 3,000 or 4,000 products as import costs continue to bite. They're noticing that their utilities are still more expensive than they have been probably in their lifetimes, and they're looking to the government to do something. And so while the government of the previous Prime Minister, Fumio Kishida, was very unpopular, this Prime Minister and his cabinet, Shigeru Ishiba, are new, and so a lot is yet to be seen about what their chances of success are going to be.
Right. And I see that you gave us a sense of what are the key agendas that people are going to think of going to the elections. I see some posters behind you. So if you could give us a sense of the popular candidates maybe to look out for in this snap election?
Yeah, so there are about 465 lower house seats up for grabs, and here we have the main opposition party, the CDP poster for this local constituency here. We have the LDP poster, and more and more these are going to become more and more, ubiquitous throughout Tokyo and Japan. In the 12-day election campaign period, it's a very short window for campaigning, and in Japan, it's also very common for them to, sit in vans with loudspeakers on the top and drive around the streets campaigning through loudspeakers. And so that is going to be the mood on the street at the moment. Now, the opposition parties are hoping that they can form a united bloc. And it's not just the CDP, it's also the Communist Party, the People's Innovation Party, and a number of others. They have to strategize because some of the seats that are up for grabs are directly elected by constituencies, whereas a minority of the seats that are up for grabs are elected by proportional representation, which means, someone's vote goes straight to a party. So the opposition needs to strategize by running one candidate and not compete against each other and splitting the vote in those, electorate seats. That's really important if they're going to have any chance at beating the LDP and their junior coalition partner, Komeito. They have a very modest goal. At the moment, out of the current parliament, which was just dissolved, they had 288 seats together. That's two parties together. They have a goal of just a simple majority now of 233. So they are expecting to lose seats. So there is an opportunity, some media is reporting here in Japan, for the opposition parties to really unite, to organize, and to effectively punch the LDP while they're down over these funding scandals that have plagued them over the last year.
Well, the next 12 days will tell us how much of that opportunity they're able to grab. Thank you so much for joining us. That was Chris Gilbert joining us from Tokyo.